Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to start with the next session. How are you doing? So first of all, I have a question for all of you. Who of you wants to grow your business? Okay, thank you. My name is Patricia. I work for the International Trade Center, and I have the honor of being here today with Reswana, who is CTO and Managing Director of Star Computer Systems Bangladesh, as well as Mangala, who is the founder and CEO of Kalsi Technologies Sri Lanka. The three of us will give the 60-minute workshop on business development for IT entrepreneurs. We'll talk for about 40 minutes and then leave the remaining time for Q&A from the audience. So now I would like to show you a short video. It's 20 seconds only, and it shows a metaphor on what it means to be an entrepreneur. I'm sure that many of you will be able to relate to it. That was the video. So to get ahead, you need to hustle. Competition in our world is global, and with this workshop, we will give you concrete tools and techniques on how to grow your business and get ahead in the game. We have 3 topics we'll be covering. Each of us will do one topic. So first of all, we'll start with Mangala, who will teach you how to grow your business by bootstrapping and by targeting the right client base, drawing from his vast experience of founding companies in Silicon Valley and in Sri Lanka. Secondly, I'll talk about how you can leverage the public sector through being part of donor-funded projects, as well as through tapping into public procurement. And then last but not least, Reswana will talk about how you can optimize your service offering by knowing how to market products versus services. Thank you very much, and over to you.
Thank you, Patricia. Hi, everyone. How are you? Well, so let me straight away get to what I'm just going to give you a little intro about myself, so if you guys, so you can relate to what I'm talking about. So I actually, when I was in college, I started first profit-making business was selling used car stereos, used, not stolen. Basically, I used to buy them for $3 to $4 from junk yards and sold them for $30 to $40. So that's about 1,500 plus profit margin. And then my friends, in the college found out my source, so I lost that business. But then I graduated in '96, and I immediately joined the dot-coms. From the dot-com days, it was so much fun. One of my companies I was working got acquired by second largest corporation in the world at that time, called Nortel Networks, $500 billion company. But it went bankrupt, literally belly up in 2000 after the dot-com bust. We amassed a lot of wealth in paper money those days, but literally I came back to Sri Lanka in 2002 with literally 95% of my wealth gone. So I started a software development company in 2002 with 2 people. So that's me, but do you guys know what's common in all these companies? Companies? Can anyone answer? None of them literally would have qualified to be a BOI approved vendor company, company straight up, because they all bootstrapped. They started in like garages, dorm rooms, motels, other people's homes, like that. They never had that millions of dollars of upfront investment or anything. So they all, before they get funding, they had to do it bootstrapping manner. So what is bootstrapping? Bootstrapping is developing a business with a shoestring budget. So I'm like having it quite slow. So bootstrapping, I'm gonna quickly tell you a few things that I've done. I mean, number one is you gotta work your butt off. There's no, literally, I mean, if you think the vacations are the time that you go and don't disconnect from everything for weeks or whatnot, I haven't done that for 14 years because every day I work at least 2 hours, even when I'm on vacation. When you bootstrap, sometimes let's say you're developing a product business, but what I've done was I sustained my product development using services. So we earn money doing services to pump money into our products. Cash flow and spending is very critical. For example, we didn't even go for an office space, renting nice office space until we really had sales. So those are, really nice to have things when you're bootstrapping. And then the other thing is nothing is impossible to learn. You gotta end up doing a lot of things because recruiting people with experience is really expensive. When you don't have big money, sometimes it's a matter of going to online courses and learn it and do it yourself. And then my colleagues know if I take no for an answer, I look at facts. It's all fact-based decision making, and then of course, understaffing is the way to go. If you are understaffed, that means it's a good problem. That means you have more work than you can service. So this is me the day my son was born, 13 years ago. So there was a project that we were working on. My developer, who was a consultant part-time because I couldn't afford a full-time employee, he quit a week before the delivery date. And then that day, my son he was due, and then she was waiting this is Joseph Fraser Hospital in Colombo. So she was waiting to deliver, and then I was working on the project. My customer had off-site demo the next day, so I can't say no, I have to deliver. So if I didn't, that's a huge problem. There's no one else to do. So guess what? We both delivered that day. So basically, I'm not going to go back. Sales fixes everything. That was the previous slide. All your problems are solved with sales. So where do I start? How do I start with this? Let's say you are a product or services company based in Sri Lanka that you want to go global. You know what you're doing, but you're struggling to find that customers, right? I'll give you an example with how I signed this, one of the greatest customers that I have to date. So I've been pitching to him for almost a year. He's like, oh, I don't know you. How do I know you're in Sri Lanka? Never seen you, never seen your office. He was saying he built his business so hard, he can't risk his business outsourcing to someone he doesn't know in Sri Lanka. Very fair. Because he worked hard to gain the trust of his clients, and he can't risk it with me. So it was really, about a year later, I needed to design my own website. So I asked him how much he would charge because he was really, really good designer based in Silicon Valley. So I wanted him to do it, and he said he's going to charge $5,000 to do that. So I negotiated down to $3,000, cut down some of the work, and then I told him, you do the design, I'll give you $3,000 worth software development services for free. We over-delivered. That was my in with him. And then we got in, we over-delivered. He was so happy. He literally said, we did better than his local guys. That was about 10 years ago. Today, as of now, we're designing and developing a dashboard for PayPal CEO with him. So that relationship went a long way. So these kind of bartering helps you to like build the trust with people. Sometimes it's not all about money. Pilot project, same. You gotta know if the customer has a possible project, if they're serious. Sometimes it works. And then the other things you could do, of course, partnerships, social media. If you have a product, actually, you can create your own eBay or Amazon shop from wherever you are, and then you can sell it. I buy a lot of things from Hong Kong and Chinese sellers on eBay. And then these are some of the tools that you could use. Simbi is a platform where bartering is allowed. You can offer your service, your professional service, and trade it for someone else's service. Let's say you are a good programmer, and then you need a good designer, you could barter on that platform. Fiverr is another tool we use for lots of things that we can't do it here. Videos and SEO, etc., and blogging. And these other websites and tools are a great place to find work around the world. So another key part is to it's not the number of customers that matters. It's the number of satisfied customers that matters. Some of our greatest customers came through referrals from existing clients. So this is where we started in 2002. It's a really 3 tables, 3 computers, and this is the building. My dad started his printing business there long ago, and he's grown out of it into a factory zone in a UDA factory zone somewhere, and then we moved in, and then this is where we are today. We are Trace Expert City. It took 14 years to come to where we are. So as you can see, we built a beautiful business. And I'm very proud to say last year, Gartner recognized us. We were one of 4 companies that was in Gartner report last year. Usually they charge a lot of money. We paid nothing, $0, and they recognized us for some of the work we've done for corporations in Silicon Valley. So, and we were a very small company to be listed there. And then these are some of the customers that I can mention. There are a lot more that I'm not allowed to mention. That's it. And thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mangala. Certainly an impressive growth path that Kelsey Technologies has undergone. So I will now continue by telling you how you can leverage the public sector in 2 ways. First of all, through being part of donor-funded projects, and secondly, through tapping into public procurement. Okay, on this map, you can see that ITC supports SMEs in developing countries in different sectors. And one of them is the IT sector. We currently have programs in the following countries. You see Rwanda, Uganda, Kenya, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and Nepal. There, we work with industry associations as well as companies. So now, if you are from one of these countries and are interested in knowing more about the program, are interested in being part, please reach out to your local IT association to know more. Still, I would like to use the example of the Netherlands Trust Fund program, which you see is present in Uganda, Kenya, and Bangladesh, to tell you how ITC assists companies like you. So ITC assists companies in a 2-fold way. First of all, we help them become better at what they're doing through training, workshops, etc. And then secondly, we also take them to markets. We connect them to potential buyers. And this we do through B2B events. On this slide, you can see a selection of B2B events that we have attended with the NTF3 program. Top left was the Women Vendors Forum in Brazil last year. We also attend startup events, events focused on entrepreneurship, like for example Slush in Finland. And then lastly, there's events we do just for our companies. I've put here the example of a B2B event in Switzerland that connected Bangladeshi companies to Swiss buyers. So this was just an example of how being part of an ITC project can benefit you. Now, if you're not from any of these countries that I've just mentioned on the map, but you'd be very interested in doing something right now and increasing the competitiveness of your company right now, there is something you can do. We have e-learning classes that are free of charge that are specific for the IT sector. I've put 2 examples on this slide. There's one that's quite basic, it's on cross-border IT outsourcing, and one a bit more sophisticated on standards and certifications. How can you get access to them? Go to the website that's indicated on this slide, or visit the e-learning booth we have at WEDEF. My colleague Raphael is just right in front of the plenary hall, outside of this room, and will be happy to answer any questions you might have. Okay, now secondly. The second means to grow your business and to tap into potentially new markets is public procurement. First, what is public procurement? Governments are not only there because they pass rules, because they pass regulations, or because they want your votes, but they're also huge buying entities. They're buying products and services. On this slide, I've just put, no, that's not it. On this slide, I've put some numbers for you. So public procurement accounts for, still not it. Sorry about that. Public procurement accounts for over 30% of GDP in developing countries, which translates into billions of government spending annually. If we now look at United Nations, in their public procurement report, they have disclosed that just last year, they spent over 17 billion US dollars on the procurement of goods and services, out of which 10 billion, or over 10 billion came from developing countries. So there's literally a stash of money on the table. How can you become a vendor and sell your services to United Nations? There's a one-stop shop for you, which is the UN Global Marketplace. You can access it at UNGM, really sorry, ungm.org, where you can register your company. And if you decide to bid for tenders that are below 40,000 US dollar, the registration process is really, really simple. It's one A4 format you need to fill out together with your bank account information. After registering your company, how can you get access and know about tenders of governments or of the United Nations? So ITC has a tool here, which is called the Procurement Map. So the Procurement Map is an online platform that displays over 100,000 tenders from 150 countries. It's updated daily, and it's sorted by country and by sector. Okay, here I have just taken a screenshot of what this platform looks like. It's free of charge also. You need to create a login, and then you have 2 input options. You need to input the country, the target country, where you're looking for public tenders, and the sector. So here, as an example, I have chosen Sri Lanka, but if you're a Sri Lankan business looking to bid for public tenders in the USA, in the UK, wherever it is, you can input that country here, and find public tenders. So as I just said, in this case, we chose Sri Lanka, and this is an IT business development workshop, so we're looking for IT tenders. We click on public tenders, and you get a list of all the public tenders that are open at this point in time. Yeah? So you see the title of the tender, you see the contact, which is basically the tender issuing organization. You see when it was detected and the deadline. So here, as an example, I've chosen the development of a web application, web and mobile application, issued by ICTA, ICT Agency of Sri Lanka. If you click on this now, this slide is very full. It's not important that you read everything that's on it. What is important that I want to show you that you can get more information by going to ITC's Procurement Map. So here you see that you can bookmark each tender, you see where it came from, and you get the link to the original document. If we now click on the original document, it directs you to the website of here, in this case, a screenshot of the request for expressions of interest. You get the contact information and find a way to apply for this tender. So summing up, the Procurement Map is a great platform to get quick information and an overview of public tender opportunities in a specific country of your choice, in a specific sector. And then lastly, I have one more thing to talk about. Yes, which is an opportunity for female entrepreneurs only called She Trades. It's an initiative of the ITC. It's a platform, a mobile and web marketplace where women entrepreneurs around the world can sign up and connect to markets. So this was just launched last year at the Women Vendors Forum in Brazil. I actually showed a picture of it. It's in the infant stage. It's not yet available for iOS. However, if you have an Android phone, you can download it right away. And of course, go to the web platform to sign up and find business opportunities. So that was it from my side. Thank you. And I'm handing over to Rizwana.
Thank you, Patricia, for handing over me the floor. So hope everybody is fine and enjoying our session. Now I am going to talk about something that how to optimize your service offering, to knowing how to market your product or service, and also the difference. So just, to make you understand that how fast software industry is growing is the fastest industry is, as per the information, is the information from 2013. Though the software industry's growth is 48%, which if we can compare with other industry, even the second highest industry is maybe the growth is 12%, internet or pharmaceutical or other networking and other. So we can really see, how fast the software industry and IT service industry is growing. So now, what I want to talk about is what is basically product and service, and also a solution, because sometimes we also work, combine our for the solution, some of our service and products as well. So what is a product? It's definitely a tradable items, a tangible items, which should have some benefits, features, and it could be virtual or physical, but you need to pay a cost to get the product, and people will use, your client will use. So this is a product basically. What is a service? Service is work done by a person for another party. So your skill, your knowledge is basically a service. You are giving your work, your skills, for somebody else. So this is a service. So you are paying, you are getting the payment against your service and work done maybe by an hour and like that, or maybe a project like that. And what is a solution? Solution is a combination of product and service, because sometimes, not only the product features and benefits doesn't, serve our client's requirement, maybe some customization or some work, training and other also we need to do. So combination of these two can be a solution. So we always think to need why I've given the best offer, to know that what you are good at, whether you're good at in service or in your product, what you are good at, please offer that. And one thing I should mention, that please know what you are good at. You know best. So offer the best one to your client. That's very important. To know your potential, to know your capabilities, credential is very important. Now, it's a bit technical though. I mean, what is the software as a product and what is a software as a service? Software as a product is basically, I mean, like Microsoft Office. Microsoft Office we can install and we can use. So we need to buy a license. And we don't need to pay monthly. But for maybe the extended version or upgradation, maybe we need to pay. But the product is like that. You don't need to host. I mean, host by yourself, not to your client side, or don't need to pay monthly and like that. But for software as a service, it's, first of all, it is kind of a solution that which fits exactly for your client. It basically size, the benefits or features is as per your client requirements, and host by yourself. I mean, to the vendor side, I mean to our side, and you have to pay monthly. The client has to pay monthly. So this is basically a good benefit for business person or entrepreneurs like us, that yes, we can get monthly payment revenue is coming every month. So this is also a good modality. Normally, who are basically, people like us who are basically giving service, we try to, go in this modality sometime. It's helpful for us. So just to know that how product and service can work in a single value chain. Example is maybe SAP or Magento or Oracle e-business suite like that. Product is basically, the license is the product, like SAP is a product. But if we just buy the license, it doesn't help you sometime. You just cannot plug and play or install and can use it, not like that. If you want to use any enterprise application or applications like that, you definitely need to install first. So your service started from that point. And then you are customizing as per your client requirements and implementing. Then go for training. So training can be another service. So you can add value. You can add basically, revenue in your offer. And then going for SLA, service level agreement, and then upgradation. So, we can, assign and design our product and service together, like in a single value chain like that, which can really, can be a profitable. License definitely has certain profit, and then other thing also have certain, a good profit. So you can, a good life cycle and with a good revenue can come out from this. Now, what is the difference between the product and service marketing? It's a basic though. Product definitely a tangible thing. Buyer definitely can see it, feel it. You can, the next point, but for service, it is intangible. Buyer can only sense it. So when you have a good experience, reputation, or maybe you have, testimonials or white papers, buyer can sense it that yes, you can give a good service then. For product, a product brochure may come. So, you can hand over a client a brochure with your features and benefits and the objective or everything about your product. But for service selling, concept selling is very important. So testimonials, white papers, or case studies really can work. Normally for product, you can give a trial. You can leave, you can offer a client for a trial. But for service, maybe after giving your service, you can give a free service, a warranty, and maybe a free service offer you can add. But you cannot give them the test trial. They really need to experience. Client really need to experience it. Now is coming to quality. It's easier, a bit easier to measure your quality of a product rather than your service. So to measure your service, I will talk about more as I'm from a service business. So coming to the next point is marketing your, we can resale sell our products multiple times. Developing a product, and then you can sell it multiple times for your, and it is a good profitable thing. But service, once you are giving, it's done. So you have to again give the service. You have to give the hour for the hours to give the next service. So but for the product, you have less, low contact with the client. Rather, service has high contact. You need to really give time to your client to understand their requirement, their pain and all. You need to have a high contact, and also always maintaining, even after giving the service, you need to have a good contact with clients so that they can also ask you for repeat services and all. So why I tell that the quality and quality measurement of a service, how you can do that. Those who are, who of us, you are in service business, process and quality measurement is very important. If you don't have the certification like CMMI or even ISO 9001 or others, doesn't matter. But practicing the quality and process is very important. This is how you can really maintain the quality, not only quality, the process even, how you are basically implementing your service, ensuring the service to your client is very important. That's what CMMI process for capability maturity model, which is called CMMI, helps us. If we are a SI, say, or a software development company, we really have to go through the life cycle with a process, and which ensure that, yes, my client is getting maximum service from us, and a good service with a good quality and with a good feedback we can get. So it helps, process helps us a lot, and also to go international or benchmark, or even if you are planning to go for $1 million project like that, then definitely you must have to comply with this kind of process. So even though you don't have the the appraisal or certification, you must practice like that. It's very important for software development industry, service industry like us. For service industry, even for the BPO, maybe ISO 9001, maybe 20,000 or other certification or processes can help. So now how to, it's very important for my presentation is how to basically we can market. We can follow both, outbound and inbound marketing, and amplify both of, get out from both of them. Outbound marketing for our industry, though there is telemarketing and so many options, but sometimes, for product and all, telemarketing works, but cold calls work better, or maybe direct mail. Trade shows for product works better. Seminars, TV commercials for product works better, but for service, so for service, basically what we do is, inbound marketing helps us a lot. Blogging can help you to network, to discuss you with the solutions. Maybe if you're in a complex problem, blogging can help, and also make you network and help you network and to get clients as well. Email marketing for service business also, it can help, not only the product business. Social media always help product and service market both. SEO helps us both. Online videos and podcasts. Online videos helps products as well. Your buyer really can see how your product looks like, how your product works. Also sometimes service, but for service, webinars works better. So that you can have a webinar, you can have kind of a seminar via online. Webinar can really help us. So what basically, So what I want to tell about to gather that inbound marketing sometimes helps for some service industry, so that you really, in inbound marketing you need to think that what about your client? Don't talk much about your technical specifications, that your product has these and that. Rather, you talk with your client that what your client wants, the requirements, and also their pain points, and give the solution as per their pain points. That yes, see, my solution, my service or product is helping you to solve this problem which you have asked more, and also show them how your return on investment works. If they can see that yes, how the return of their investment comes out good, then definitely it will be easier. It will be better for them. So always try to understand your client problem, because we are here to, whether it is a product or service, we are here for the client. Now, the last one is very important that for even IT product or service, market the promise, not your service or product only. So try to give in the entire life cycle of a product or your service, give some enhancement, give always, have a good contact, have good solutions, entire life cycle, and think about do R&D, upgrade your product as per the market requirement, as per, majority or your segmented client requirement. So work on that, it's very important. And last but not the least, market your existing customer. 55% of the customer normally is just, for a statistic, that 55% of your customer comes with your reputation and also the repetition. Repeat clients give you, my experience as a company owner, being an entrepreneur, most of the clients are repeated. And we work basically we are a service-based company. Our all clients are basically from 8 years long client, we are handling them. So repeat clients basically, gives you the most profit, and definitely it is, you need to really take care of your existing client and also the new client, and existing client also refer new clients. So always give emphasis on that as well. So now I'm handing over to Patricia. Thanks everybody for the attention.
Thank you so much, Rizwana and Mangala also for this session. I have certainly learned a lot already. And now we'd like to use the remaining time for Q&A from the audience. So if you have a question, yes, I see one over there. Could we have a microphone?
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Abdus Salam. I'm from the UK Government Department for International Development. A quick question for you, Patricia. I guess it's great that you've kind of outlined your kind of offer on kind of IT solutions.
Could you speak up just a little bit?
It's great that you've kind of shown your kind of offer on kind of IT solutions, but I think it'll be useful for you to kind of elaborate what the kind of success criteria is going to be in terms of kind of development kind of focus. What is it that you kind of intend to get out of this?
Okay, so you mean for submitting a tender, the success criteria?
That's correct, yes.
So the general criteria is best value for money. And that's unfortunately everything I can say in general, because it depends for every single opportunity. It depends for every single tender. So there's no one-size-fits-all solution, unfortunately. It's best value for money that's being evaluated with the technical evaluation. I hope that answers your question.
Well, yes and no, but I think from a kind of development perspective, it would be good to see kind of what are the tangible, robust results you want to kind of achieve through this kind of initiative that you've just outlined.
Okay, so the Procurement Map is a one-stop shop if you want to have information on where to find tenders. So it doesn't show you how to get these tenders, or it doesn't promise that this tender will be awarded to you, but it's one database that shows where are opportunities in this world, in over 150 countries, in my sector at this moment. So I want to point out this tool to all of you that maybe have not done business with public entities this far. I just want to point out this new opportunity to go there, to take a look, and maybe tap into the public sector. Do we have another question?
It is not really a question, because the delegates must be sick of my questions. It is an insider information I want to share with you, that government of Sri Lanka 7 years ago decided to promote tea in the international market, and they imposed a cess of 3 rupees 50 cents per kilo. In 7 years, they have not been able to decide how to promote tea in the international market. Perhaps they wanted to follow the British model of tea house in London or whatever. So, you can go to the government of Sri Lanka and say, like, you can help them promote tea in the international market as a much less cost. There is over 7 billion rupees now lying in the kitty, not being used.
Well, I'm going to have to agree with you. Of course, we can market tea far better, but as a, we are yet to do business with government. We mostly work with the private sector.
Okay, I see more questions over there. Thank you.
My question is related to entrepreneurs which are facing some difficulties. I don't know whether you could answer, but I'll put my question to you. An entrepreneur work hard these days to go the e-commerce. The e-commerce is come up very much in the beginning, leading role in the tourism industry. And he put up all his work, ISO 9001 and all these things, and to come into the e-commerce. Well, and somebody who is an outsider, not directly has an experience in the trade, is quickly and copying this, and he's starting the same product, and he started selling. Is there any solution for this, please?
Well, my take on that is, if people can copy, so what matters is the execution. If you run a solid business, anybody can go and copy Google and Amazon, but can you beat them? Because the way they provide their customer service, the Amazon is really amazing. I've been using Amazon for a decade now, and never been dissatisfied. So I'm yet to find another e-commerce retailer that can beat that kind of execution, that service, all that. So if you're worried about people copying, that's even before. I would rather run my business the way I'd rather have my satisfied customers, and I'll challenge anybody to copy it and do it. And like in Sri Lanka, we have that mindset. Like I have a very successful hopper shop, and then next day you will see 5 people starting appakadis. So but it's the taste of your hoppers and how cleanliness and how you treat your customers, all that matters.
I have to continue my questions, yeah? I fully agree what you say, but again, the entrepreneur faces, once they copy, you say it's allowed to copy, and then again, there's a price for, again, the undercutting the prices, and so that the customer always look at always the price. So that's the main people or tourists focus always on the price. It's one of the important factor. There are also upmarket passengers who depend on the services. But my question, I fully agree, but the question is there any solution or there any law internationally, or we can look at that at a later stage if you don't have, to this type of things?
As far as I know, if it is an invention, of course you can file for a patent. If it's a trademark, you can trademark it. Beyond that, as far as I know, I don't think you can lock in a business. I'm the only one who can sell hoppers. You can't do that.
Okay, do we have more questions? Yes, over there, please.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. A question maybe to Rezwana. You mentioned at one point the importance of standards, CMMI, ISO. Did you experience once a customer telling you, I would like to work with you, but I need those standards as part of your company? And maybe a quick second one. I know that Bangladesh has built up a country image in terms of IT, BPO services. Do you feel that it has an influence in your business when you prospect clients? Thanks.
Thanks for the good question, which is very interesting. Yes, for project like, I mean, we do also government tenders and international tenders as well. So for that, we need to have that kind of certification, not only ISO 9001, normally CMMI level 3 minimum, not 5, because level 3 is the one. So if you want to bid for a good big project, then normally your client part definitely asks for it. Not like, the European client, the outsourcing client or US client, they don't ask for it like the private clients, but normally government or donor funded projects sometime, big government project like that, they ask for the CMMI certification or at least ISO 9001 certification. That is basically, that's why, and not only for that basically, which basically when our company was the first ISO certified company in Bangladesh from IT. But when I joined my company, because it has been started with my father, and I basically now taken over of this company, I'm running that company. It was already being a ISO certified company, but I didn't find any ISO process in my company. Then what I did is I implemented the process. And then I found that what is the benefits of that process if I run with a quality process and all. It really helps for the management and your team, mid-level management also, and your client. Most of the thing is the client also, you can ensure that client that yes, you are giving a good thing. And CMMI, definitely there is no, you cannot compare with ISO 9001 with CMMI. CMMI is a total software, SDLC life cycle, you have to go through it. So it really helps you a lot in each milestone and phases of your product life cycle or development life cycle. So it's not only that we have appraised with CMMI level 3 or others are 5 maybe, only for the client or for a big project like that. Also it helps your company a lot. Thank you.
Yes, we have another question right there.
My name is Suhail Aziz. I'm from Pakistan. My question is regarding the procurement of data which is available in your database. Do you have any kind of mechanism which authenticate the data which is available on your database? Because right now maybe thousands and millions of procurement tenders are available on that. So especially when we talk about the underdeveloped countries, there are mechanism of issuing the tenders, but there are certain, ifs and buts after issuing the tenders. There are certain cases where you can see the tenders has been awarded and the advertisement comes later. So I just want, do you have any mechanism about the authenticity of the data?
Okay, it's a very good, very valid question. So how it works is that ITC is contracting a service provider that is going through online and offline sources of tenders every day. And they're going through 50,000 sources. And since they update the tenders daily, there are about 15,000 new tenders added every day. However, what happens afterwards? So we provide this information on the platform, and then companies bid for it. But what happens then, unfortunately, we have no control over. So you were talking about, I guess, corrupted tenders being awarded to, I don't know, nepotism, etc. This is nothing that we can control, and this is nothing what this tool that I presented aims to address. This is something to be addressed at policy level, way beyond. This is just something that shows you where to find opportunities. Unfortunately, we cannot ensure that they are everywhere awarded in the most transparent way. However, ITC is aware of the problem, and we are lobbying, or the United Nations are lobbying for more transparent procurement guidelines. For example, by lobbying governments or entities to disclose the technical evaluation after a tender is being awarded, which is one step towards transparency. Do we have anybody else in the audience that would like to ask a question? Yes, please.
Yes, thank you. This question is actually directed to Mangala and to Rizwana. In terms of developing a business, which is, for example, now we are all talking about service businesses. And if you have a business, so I have co-founded a business which does presentation design in Sri Lanka, which is a business area that has not been exploited or not been used all this time. We are facing a lot of challenges when it comes to creating awareness for this opportunity. Is there anything advice that you all can give us that we could probably help take our brand out there? Thank you.
Well, have you guys, I can go into lots of details, there's a lot of content strategy you can look at, social media, marketing and promotions, creating some, advertisements, plus maybe videos, viral videos. You can't just pinpoint to one thing and say this is the holy grail of launching your business. There are lots and lots you could do and you have to do. Even like search engine optimization. What is it? It's lots of backlinkings to content and all that. So it's going to take a while. So what you probably want to do is look for not so search terms, but find out some search terms suitable for you that you could optimize. There are companies that in Sri Lanka that offer this kind of services for reasonable prices. Not very expensive. I'm using some of them. That's probably way to go. You have to, and also do some surveys, put out some surveys and see where your customers are, and use that survey results, collect that email addresses, and then engage them, and create a newsletter, and continue communication with them, and they might one day become clients. I hope I answered your question.
Okay, thank you so much. Unfortunately, the time is up. Thank you, dear Rizwana, dear Mangala. It was a pleasure working with you, and I've certainly learned a lot. I hope you did as well. And now I have the honor of announcing the official closing session of the WEDEF 2016. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you.
Thank you.